how do you avoid getting yourself into that funk of being dragged down into the, as Citra said, being under the cloud and getting yourself under it? How do we...
Getting yourself under it, I think, is the...
But how do we as, I suppose it's easy as talking about it, how do we as men not get ourselves depressed? Because, you know, the mindset would be men are meant to be these strong beings and we battle off everything, we fight off everything. Going through that though, a lot of guys go through a lot of breakups and have real depressions from it, and it could last a long time. How do you not allow yourself to wallow in what you're going through?
I think the key is that I think there has to be a period of wallow. Now, that period doesn't have to be elongated to like a month. For everyone deals with things different. You have to acknowledge, remember, it's a breakup. So at one point, until the person said it's done, you were happy in that relationship. So you have to understand that you've lost something. When you acknowledge that you've lost something, then you start to move on. You have to have that point of, I can't think of a better word, but you say wallow. You have to have that. You have that. It could be 5 minutes. It could be 10 days. It could be 10 months. You have to have that point. Once you have that point, you start to rise up, so to speak, and then you move on.
Do you have to have that point?
I think you have to.
Are you saying that you have to, or can you not just turn and say to yourself, you know what, I'm over it?
I don't think if you're in a relationship that you care about the individual, you can just say, I'm over it, just like that. I think it's impossible. If you are able to say that, you didn't care for that person enough.
I kind of go with that. But what if, like, so, all right, I'll speak for the females that aren't in the room, all right?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, you did. But anyway, they've made a decision months ago. They've been sitting there thinking about it. The relationship's been ongoing, and now they've suddenly said, I've made my decision. I don't care what he says now. I'm done with it. And they're over it. So they turn and say they've done with it, they're over it. So they made the decision probably about 3-4 months before they've even told you.
Yeah.
Are they now allowed to just turn and say there's no wallowing period? They're just, I'm getting on with it.
No, but they had the wallowing period, didn't they? Because I'm assuming for them to get to the point 3 months ago, there must have been things that they were trying to do or trying to say to get you involved in the relationship more. And they thought, well, shag this, I'm not doing it anymore. If you don't want to, I don't know, brush your teeth in the morning, or if you don't want to wash the dishes, you know what I mean? That's your business. I put up with it for, like, I've been with you for X amount of time. I've tried to gently change that behaviour, and it's come to that 3 months where I tried to aggressively change the behaviour. You didn't change. Stuff it. I'm going to go somewhere else.
But let me put this way. And again, probably going to cause a bit of an aggro, but men are stupid. We're stupid compared to what their emotions. Their emotions are saying, I tried to get you, get you to brush your teeth. I tried to get you to do this. I pushed so hard and you was not listening. And now I'm done. And you're like, right, but what you didn't do is you didn't tell me that you wanted me to brush my teeth. All you have to do is say it. And we're like, but I did indirectly. This is the woman. All right. And you're like, but you didn't say it. Because this is guys. We like, say it. Just tell us what it is. We'll deal with it. Don't sit there and give us the, babe, babe. Babe, what? Just tell me. But because some people, bear me, some people aren't going to catch the, babe, and this little slide.
We're selectively stupid though. No. Because when you're in bed and she pushes the back off onto you, you know what time it is then. You're not stupid then. You got the hint then.
But whatever you want to say, I'm trying to say to you, at the end of the day, I'm saying we might have missed whatever the hint might have been. We've missed it as a man.
So basically, from what I wouldn't say stupid, but what I would say is that it sounds like you're talking about, are men not emotionally intelligent? Is what that's the phrase people like to throw out there to say they would pick up on things. I think it would be difficult. I think it's I think to your point, I'd agree with that to a degree. I think that we're very practical. If we as men think something is wrong, we will likely say something is wrong. Right. So we expect something to be said to us, something is wrong. Not all men are gonna pick up on the signals. So if the signals are not clear cut, or if it's not like a traffic light, green light, go, red light, stop. If it's like, oh, it's amber, what, go, don't go? What are you saying?
What are you saying?
That's where the problems are gonna stem from. So
yeah, and this is my point. So then we're at this point where we're like, we don't know. Are you now saying to ourselves, well, what do we do at this point? Where do we go? Do we? I mean, what is the point? At what point? We didn't know what was going on. So when you're saying about moving on, Like, do we now just jump on and say, oh yeah, we're just going to move on to the next year? We didn't understand what she was saying in the first place.
Yeah, I don't think you can plead ignorance in a relationship. I don't think you can say, I need to be told it. You know your partner, regardless of the years or the time. Let's just say it was a 3-year relationship. If she has to, if she's dropping hints to something, like so brushing your teeth, it's a bad example, but if she's dropping hints to brushing your teeth, and you've been with her for 3 years and you can't tell she's trying to tell you something, then you should be dumped.
No, no, that's no.
You're in a relationship.
Saying too much.
I'm going to say, I would say, change brushing your teeth to communication.
Right, okay.
And if you're not a guy who
It's the same thing,
communicates...
it's a communication about something.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, if you're a guy who doesn't communicate your feelings and whatever, and the expectation from your partner is, I want you to talk to me about your feelings, but that's not you, over that 3 years, that build-up from her may be, no, you know what? I'm not interested. So it's citrus. You was about to say something just there. Was it related to that, around that?
Quite a few things. Firstly, I definitely agree there should be a wallow period, but what that looks like is different for different people. Sitting in your emotions, buddy, it's not the way forward. You need to acknowledge and process your emotions, but sit in it, it will consume you. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean, young kids being told every day, you're ugly, you're ugly, you're ugly, you're ugly. When they look in the mirror, they're going to see someone that's ugly. Do you get what I mean? When they see other people, you look like me, you're ugly. So there comes a point where, yes, you definitely need to understand the emotion, but to live in it, and then all of a sudden, that's where you get consumed. This is where, when Wiley mentioned about men being depressed, and it normally is because you sat in an emotion, haven't dealt with it or processed something, and now it's completely consumed you. So everything you see, touch, feel, taste, smell is all about that same negative emotion, and then it becomes your world. So no matter what positive happens next, you're so clouded, do you know what I mean, that you're consumed. You can't see anything through the mist. Wiley, what point did you say just now?
I was talking about the fact of communication. So if you're in a situation where, let's say your partner is saying you're not communicating. Rain was talking about if something's been said for 3 years or whatever.
Okay,
for example.
All right, so Rain's point, I don't agree with that. When you think about it, not when you think about it. Me, I don't like talking about my emotions. I hate it.
Because is that a men thing? Or is that just a...
I would say it's a generic men thing, but I don't know.
I could talk about me. I don't like it. So I don't know if you are any different.
Just really quickly around the room, does anyone around the room here have is it easy for anyone around the room to speak about their emotions? I'm also looking at the producer. So you can raise your hand.
He's hiding behind the curtain.
He can push
He's in the closet. He's in the closet.
Fine.
Mention the St. Lucia 3 times, you'll appear.
But does anyone here find it easy to talk about their emotions?
It's hard to talk about your emotions.
Okay.
I mean, there are... Do you know what the funniest thing is? I'll say for myself, I would talk with a selective few about my emotions. And I'll say that these are my people that I would say to myself, this is how I feel. And sometimes the one thing that I can say is expressing it sometimes makes you feel better. So and that would only be around, I suppose, a tight-knit circle. All right? I wouldn't want to turn and say to myself, oh, let me just put it on the podcast. Oh, I feel this way, because that's all of a sudden exposing me too much. And that's something that no man wants to do. But exposing it to yourself to a few people is definitely helpful, but not a lot of people do that. Because there are people that I know within my own circle that as much as I might tell them, they might not necessarily tell me.
The reason I'm asking, the reason why I said what I said about does anyone around here have ease about speaking about emotions, I think that is a guy thing. Like, to the point you was making, Citrus, I genuinely think guys find it very difficult to talk about their emotions. So I don't think it's just a you thing. I think it's a guy thing. I think some guys find it easier, but definitely guys are less able, I don't want to say less able, they're less open. Well, we're practical thinkers, innit? So when we're methodical, we're practical. We will think about a solution. We will not think about the emotion of it. So to the point you was making, without taking away from your point, I think that it's not just you. I think it is guys.
So if I do disclose how I'm feeling emotionally, and me sharing this emotion with you, my mum, my partner, do you know what I mean, my next door neighbor, and it gets disregarded and
Mad
dusted
thing.
under the carpet, you can imagine my next move is how quickly can I kill you? Because now I can't have this. I can never be in this
you're
situation
right.
again.
Yeah. 100%.
I'm
He's like,
not,
yeah, we'll kill him together.
no,
You know how it is.
as a person, I'm now not going to disclose myself to you in this fashion.
Ever
Because
again, yeah.
I realise that as hard as this is for me, you are not going to take this seriously. So because you're not going to take this seriously, I'm not going to put myself in a vulnerable state for you not to take it seriously. And I know that sounds mad, but that's my protective mechanism.
I'm like that as well.
That's how I protect myself.
I think a lot of men would be like that. I think everybody will have someone that they'll be able to open up to in time eventually. And it's that exact thing. If the person you open up to doesn't take it seriously, then the door closes, padlock, laser, breath sensors to get back in there. And it takes a long time for another individual to get back in there. And I think if you think about historically men and what we've seen, and like even if you think about stuff like the Cosby Show, and if you think about He-Man, and you think about Thundercats, like the leaders were all men. Like, you think Lionel talked to anyone about his feelings? He ain't talking to Chitara.
What? I like that. I so like that. I have to give you ratings for that.
It's just
That I'll give you ratings for.
no, but subconsciously we've grown up on these things, and it's ingrained in the mind. Now,
Yeah, meant to be strong.
the new generation of men might be a bit more
Sensitive.
sensitive,
Is it
open,
sensitive,
frugal with how they communicate.
Yeah,
now,
frugal,
are they better? Maybe. Are they weaker? We might say they are, but then that's probably wrong, because we might be seen as weak for not communicating our emotions. Apparently, communicating emotion is a strength.
What's wrong with communicating your emotions?
But look at see this. I know.
I'd
You
like
say
to go
Will
and
Smith.
Fresh Prince, you know.
It's not
but
Will Smith. It's more Tyrese for me. Tyrese
when he cried, about his daughter.
was more prevalent for me because he came out and said, "This hurts me. This is how I'm feeling."
Sorry, I don't know the situation of Tyrese. You know, I know that he had a breakdown. I don't
You know the
what-
memes, right?